Hi, everyone. Today I'm talking about the pluses and minuses of being your own teacher boss. But first, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Stephanie Newton. I'm a teacherpreneur. I'm documenting my journey and helping to give you tips along the way. So let's get started. First, let's start with the minuses. So the minuses about being your own teacher boss, and basically when I say being your own teacher boss, I'm talking about someone who is teaching online, privately, independently, as possibly an independent contractor or something. You're teaching on a platform, or you're selling products on Teachers Pay Teachers or Boom Cards, or you're also maybe creating courses for other teachers. So you're basically your own boss, maybe on the side of teaching in the classroom, or maybe instead of teaching in the classroom. So the minuses are that bookings and sales can go up and down. So I'm not a teacher paid teacher store seller yet, but I have been doing some research because I'm hoping for that to be one of my next projects. And I do notice that there's a big boom in sales around August, September, October, November, obviously, because that's when teachers are in prime, curriculum development mode. They're putting their lesson plans together. They're teaching during those times, right? So those are big sales times. And then it sort of dies down around Christmas. And then maybe January, February, March, they might see sales go up again. So there's fluctuations. And I work for OutSchool, an online teaching platform. There's fluctuations with OutSchool too. And 2020 also threw in some I don't know, caveats in there. And now the fluctuations are even a little bit harder to predict, but there are big, big ups and sometimes some downs. So that is a minus in that your bookings and sales may not be 100% consistent. But because of that, that's why a lot of people recommend diversifying and making sure you have many different streams of income, because that really helps. Another minus is that it's hard to shut off your business because you work at home and because time is money. So with online teaching, there's almost no ceiling to how much money you can make, and there's no ceiling to how many hours you can work because of it. And so honestly, the harder you work and the more hours you work, the more money you make. And so sometimes you have to pull yourself back and find balance, even though you know you're leaving money on the table. Or if you're feeling extra lazy on a particular week, you may have to drag yourself to the office. So those can be hard to find that perfect balance and find that discipline to pull back and discipline also to push forward when you don't want to. Another minus would be you're working for reviews. So on almost all of these teacher platforms and streams of income, you're working for reviews unless you are strictly private. So you have your own website, you're gathering your own students outside of any platform, and you are just working strictly on your own. Most people are not doing that. Most people are teaching on a platform or selling their products on a platform. And so you're working for reviews. That there are pluses and minuses to that. The pluses for the people purchasing the products and the people who are buying the classes for their kids, they know they're getting a good product because honestly, the cream rises to the top when it comes to reviews. That's just the way it works. But for teachers, it can be extra stressful, especially in the beginning, until you really establish yourself with good reviews. Once you sort of get established, you know what works and what doesn't work. You know what gets good reviews and gets bad reviews, and you become an established, well-respected teacher. It's very stressful, especially since you are new at what you're doing and you have to be doing the best you can possibly be to get those reviews when you're not even sure what you're supposed to be doing. So the beginning can be very stressful, but that's true of any new job, any new business. I think the beginning is always very stressful. Um, and the last minus, I mean, I could probably go on all day with pluses and minuses, but the last one I have written down is that you do not have benefits. So you have to find outside benefits. There are share benefit programs out there. They usually have a higher deductible, and I'm talking about health insurance. You don't have anybody withdrawing money from your paycheck every couple of weeks to put aside for retirement. So you have to be disciplined in doing that. There are also, maybe I'll do a video on this sometime. There are also some platforms there are some insurance companies that are actually selling plans to online teachers. So you can do your research there. You can contact me. Maybe I'll do, if they're still in business. I mean, as of a year ago, I was looking into that. It's pretty affordable. And I mean, as far as insurance plans go these days, it's not that bad. It is a higher deductible than if you were to be working for a company or something. So those are the minuses. Let's move into the pluses. The pluses. And this is why I do what I do. And this is why I don't have an outside brick and mortar 9 to 5 job. Freedom of location, time, and flexibility. So I can teach from wherever I want to. I can teach whatever time I want to. Nobody is allowed to tell me what time I can work. For example, today I didn't teach at all. Today's Friday. I generally don't teach on Fridays unless I'm taking like a tutoring client because that's the only time we can squeeze in or something. But I do teach for VIP Kid at night. So tonight I'm working 3 hours from 8:30 to 11, 8:30 to 11:30. So, but that's my choice. So I'm creating my own hours and that's what works for me because I can be hanging out with my kids during the day. I got a bunch of lesson planning done today and tonight I can teach. Um, the next plus is that there is no income ceiling and there are limitless streams of income. So if you don't like teaching for one platform, you can go teach for another platform. If you don't like creating your own curriculum, there are many platforms where the curriculum is created for you and you just have to show up and teach from some slides. That's what I'm doing tonight with VIP Kid. And so I literally just have to show up at my computer at 8:25, turn on my camera at 8:30 and teach. And I don't have to prep or anything like that. And then limitless income, meaning you literally could just build and build and build and build your business. You can have many streams of income. So I personally right now have OutSchool. I teach middle school science on OutSchool. I teach for VIP Kid. I teach for VIP Kids Book Nook program. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be applying to GoGo Kid, which is similar to VIP Kid. Um, I'm looking into boom cards and teachers pay teachers. I'm also, working on YouTube and possibly creating courses for people who are wanting to build a side income as teachers. So, I have a lot of things I'm looking at in the future and I'm working toward. So and I'm sure, this is 2021. 5 years ago, most of these streams of income didn't exist. 5 years from now, what is this industry going to look like? I think it's going to be exploding with so many different things. So keeping your eyes open, always working toward something better that works for you. As new opportunities come into the industry, you might be able to drop something you don't really love doing and pick up something else. So right now, this is an exciting industry to be in, and it's constantly changing so fast. The next plus of being your own teacher boss is the potential for passive income. So I already have some classes that are pre-recorded on OutSchool. Some of them are very passive. Others are, I would call semi-passive because I still need to check in with the classroom. I'm still grading some of the work, communicating with the parents. But I'm not actively having to show up at a certain time to teach the class because it's pre-recorded. So and teachers pay teachers is passive, meaning once you establish your products on the platform, they're just selling themselves. You do have to do a little outside marketing. Almost any passive income stream these days in any industry will require a little outside marketing. You actually don't have to do outside marketing. Teachers pay teachers will bring the people to you, but if you want to make really good sales, you do have to do a little outside marketing on social media, maybe on your own website. And then there's boom cards. There's all sorts of passive income ways, affiliate marketing. So the other plus about being your own teacher boss is a lot less discipline issues. So when you're teaching on Zoom or you're teaching one-on-one on a teacher platform, you rarely have to discipline. It's nothing like the brick and mortar classroom. The most you might have to do is remind them to chill it out in the chat box, which, by the way, if that becomes a problem, you can shut it off. I haven't had to do that yet. If it's a one-on-one student, I have very rarely had to contact help from the company or contact the parents. And I sort of very rarely need to do anything besides redirect, like, hey, let's get back to the lesson. So very few discipline issues, if at all. Here's the next plus, there's no red tape and no hoops to jump through. So the one thing I did not like about teaching in the brick and mortar classroom, and really even when I was teaching in private industry, not teaching, when I was working in private industry before becoming a teacher, there were always forms to fill out and red tape to deal with, and just so many restrictions on what you can do, not a lot of autonomy. And it's not like that with having your own teacher business. And the last plus I have listed for today is I think I already touched on this, but it's a constantly growing industry. There are new platforms all the time. So if you don't see platforms so far that suit your fancy, something's probably coming out. I'm personally very in touch with the industry right now, and there's still something coming out every single day. Just the other day, I learned about a platform called Kids Connected. It's another platform similar to OutSchool, except that there's a lower pay cap, but it sounds promising. It might be something that I might look into, and I might reduce my hours with the VIP Kid and replace those hours with Kids Connected, this new platform. So there's always some other way to run your business. There's always something new coming out. That is super exciting to me. We, as teachers, we have never had so much opportunity to work the way we want, make the money we want, have the flexibility we want, and be paid and treated what we're worth. So keep that in mind. And I hope that you will consider subscribing if you are interested in watching my journey and getting tips along the way as a teacherpreneur. Have a great afternoon. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.